Pope Francis oversees a $50 billion empire, but lives with remarkable humility. What he chooses to do with this wealth is change how we view power and leadership. Miss this, and you'll miss the surprising truth about how the world's most influential leader redefines what it means to be truly rich. Chapter 1. The Life of Pope Francis. Let's start with the man himself. Pope Francis, born Jorge Mario Bergoglio, grew up in a modest home in Argentina. He's the first Jesuit pope, the first from Latin America, and the first to take the name Francis, a name chosen to honor Saint Francis of Assisi, famous for his vow of poverty and love for the poor. From the beginning of his papacy, Francis made it clear that he wasn't interested in the trappings of luxury. He's known for his simple lifestyle, his preference for modest clothing, and his direct, down-to-earth approach to leadership. While Francis lives simply, he presides over an institution that controls vast spiritual, political, and material assets. It's a paradox that captivated the world. If you're curious about Pope Francis's unique billionaire life, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Chapter 2. What was Pope Francis worth? Now let's talk numbers. Even with the billionaire in our title, Pope Francis's net worth is a far cry from tech moguls or oil tycoons. Estimates vary wildly, from as little as $100 to as much as $16 million. But here's the thing, almost all of that is tied to the assets of his office, the cars he rides in, the residence he occupies, and the ceremonial clothing he wears. None of it is his personal property, it belongs to the church. Francis famously declined the papal salary, which could have been as high as $384,000 a year, instead redirecting funds to charity and church trusts. His daily expenses, food and travel, are covered by the Vatican, not taken as personal income. So, while he has access to immense resources, his bank account is surprisingly modest. Chapter 3. Salary, perks, and the money he refused. Let's dig a little deeper into those perks. As Pope, Francis could have lived like a king, literally. The Vatican provides for all his needs: residence, staff, transportation, security, and more. But Francis made headlines when he refused to move into the lavish apostolic palace, choosing instead the Casa Santa Marta guest house, a simple, hotel-like building within the Vatican walls. He also turned down the traditional papal limousine, opting for a modest Ford Focus or a donated Renault 4 for his daily drives. Even the famous Pope Mobile has been seen in more humble versions under Francis's reign. And when it comes to gifts like a Lamborghini Huracan presented to him in 2017, he's quick to auction them off for charity rather than keep them for himself. Chapter 4. Modest living. When you think of the Pope's residence, images of the Grand Apostolic Palace probably come to a majestic palace filled with priceless Renaissance art, golden ceilings, and luxurious rooms. The Apostolic Palace is truly a symbol of centuries of papal history and power, boasting over 1,000 rooms, private chapels, and ornate furnishings. But Pope Francis chose a very different path. Instead of moving into this opulent palace, he opted to live in Casa Santa Marta, a simple guest house within Vatican City. His suite is modest, with basic furnishings and personal touches like a statue of Our Lady of Luján, reflecting his Argentine roots. He eats meals in a communal dining hall alongside other clergy, often waiting in line like everyone else. Pope Francis carries his briefcase and even makes his phone calls. This lifestyle choice isn't just about simplicity, it's a powerful statement of humility and a desire to stay connected to ordinary people, even while surrounded by immense wealth. Chapter 5. Cars and Vehicles of Francis. Pope Francis's choice of transportation is as humble as his living arrangements. Instead of a fleet of luxury cars, he's known for driving modest vehicles. One of the most famous is a 1984 Renault 4 gifted by an Italian priest, which has over 300,000 kilometers on it. For official duties, he often uses a practical Ford Focus, or the iconic Popemobile, which is customized for security but far from ostentatious. When luxury vehicles are gifted to him like the Lamborghini Huracan or a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, promptly auctions them off, donating the proceeds to charity. This approach sends a clear message. Transportation is a tool for service, not a symbol of status. Chapter 6. Ceremonial Wardrobe and Accessories. Let's open the papal closet. The Vatican maintains a stunning collection of ceremonial garments. The mozzetta, a short cloak that changes colors with the liturgical seasons. The camaro, a velvet winter hat trimmed with rare white ermine fur. And the fisherman's ring, a gold symbol of papal authority that is traditionally destroyed after a pope's death. There are also hand-embroidered silk gloves, the daily white cassock, fascia made from fine Italian materials, and the berretta, a triangular formal hat used in ceremonies. But here's the Francis twist. He often chooses the simplest versions available. For example, he wears a gold-plated ring instead of a solid gold one, and has been known to skip some extravagant vestments entirely. Chapter 7. Access without ownership. The Vatican's real estate empire is worth an estimated $50 billion, including iconic properties like the Apostolic Palace and the Vatican Gardens. The Vatican Museums house over 70,000 works of art, including masterpieces like Laocoon and his Sons, and Raphael's School of Athens, each worth hundreds of millions of dollars. The Vatican Library holds over 1.6 million books, and the secret archives contain priceless documents from Galileo to Napoleon. And don't forget the sacred relics, a splinter from the True Cross, the Holy Lance, the Veil of Veronica valued in the tens or hundreds of millions. None of these belong to Pope Francis personally. He's a steward, not an owner. These treasures are preserved for the Church's spiritual mission, not for personal profit. Chapter 8. Legacy of Simplicity. So, what's the takeaway from this billionaire's life? Pope Francis's legacy is not about yachts, mansions, or private jets. It's about humility, charity, and a radical rethinking of what it means to be rich. He's used his platform to advocate for peace, environmental reform, and social justice, reminding us that true wealth is found in compassion and service to others. Pope Francis challenges all of us to ask, what is the true good of life? Is it the accumulation of possessions, the relationships we build, and the good we do? As he once said, we must guard ourselves against the temptation to idolize money. No one can save themselves with money, however strong the temptation may be to chase the wealth of feeling sufficient, the vanity of feeling important, and, in the end, pride and arrogance. Enjoyed the video? Like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.